Two pastors were walking through a jungle when they noticed that there were children helplessly floating down a river that they were walking near. They both ran down to the river, jumped in, and frantically started grabbing as many children as possible and dragging them to safety. As the chaos began to calm a bit, one of the pastors stayed in the river, helping children, while the other pastor ran upstream to see how these children were ending up in the river in the first place, and to find a way to prevent it from continuing to happen. Two pastors with a very similar heartbeat to care for children, but different approaches. Studies show that there are over 140 million orphans in the world today. 140 million. For several reasons, many of these children end up in an orphanage. Interestingly enough, studies also show that 80% of these children living in an orphanage actually have a living relative. A staggering statistic that should make us stop and ask the question, why? Why would a child be abandoned at an orphanage when there is a living relative to take care of them? Something doesn't add up. Our research has shown that the common thread that links these numbers is poverty. Desperate mothers living in poverty are daily having to choose which child gets to eat today, who gets to go to school, and who needs to work in the fields. Who will she take to an orphanage, and who will she keep at her home? It's a horrific reality that families in poverty are faced with daily. This is where the church can step in. World Orphans partners with churches to be that pastor who runs upstream. Through partnership, we help prevent these mothers from having to make these decisions. We empower families to care for their children and see them move from surviving to thriving. This is the heartbeat and mission of World Orphans. We partner churches in the U.S. with churches in developing countries and empower them to care for the vulnerable in their communities. We equip churches to step in and stop mothers before they ever get to the river. Micah 6:8 says, "He has shown you what is good and what he requires, to do justice, to love mercy, to walk humbly with your God." Today, we invite you, the church, to partner with us as we seek to worship God through humbly walking, through loving, and through preserving and empowering families.